Welcome back, everyone. I hope everybody is having a great weekend and getting ready for our coming week. It is going to be another busy week. We do have quite a few earnings from actually different sectors, which is nice. So we can see a couple different sectors popping off as well. I'll go over a couple of those charts as well. I think one of them is in there. Okay. And we do have data as well. Monday, nothing. Tuesday, we do have, but the most important thing is on Wednesday morning. And then obviously all these tweets and the stuff with Iran is going to keep going on. So make sure you're paying attention. Not the reason we don't take the trade or we take the trade. It is more so to be aware of it, what's happening, what is actually moving the market, why are these things are happening. So pay attention to that. I'm gonna go over our charts. I do have a couple really good ones for swings, and I know we are already in few of them. So I'm gonna just review the charts for those, and then yeah, let's get into it. And I'm actually excited to share is the trades that we took based on the new indicators. So far we've done the whole week. I've shared the exact win and losses. I am gonna be I do have the the indicator set up for Discord as well. I'm gonna this week still monitor with myself, Killa, and Benita. Next week, I'll probably start maybe give few people access to test it out, how it plays out. I am not giving access directly to the indicator because I've seen people try to ask Claude or ChatGPT or whatever the hell, and then they come up with the PMU style indicator, and then they lose money. Then I get messages. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create alerts from the indicator that comes into a Discord. So that is the plan. But again, we've been testing it for almost a year, right? We've done so much of changes between the three of us. It's just and seeing what it can do, the type of moves we've gotten. We have a part of it for swing as well. I don't have that coded yet, but I'm definitely working toward to have both things set up where it's auto alerts. And this time we're just testing on certain stocks that we trade in the morning for alerts as well. This was one of the trades that we took on Friday, right? So here we go. This was the Reddit trade that I called it out purely, honestly, based on, where did it go? Not the KP calls. Did I not call Reddit in here? I think I called the coin based on this one. We didn't take Reddit. Actually, Reddit, we missed it, but Reddit was a good move. Coin was the one that we took it once we had the breakout on here. And I know, what's her name? Killa called it in her group for Meta. They captured the whole move to the upside on Meta, and they also captured it on Evgo, this bounce. I think this alone gave them 30%. It did not have a continuation, but still the bounce held. My goal is to look for anything more than 20%. So if it's giving me a 20%, I consider that as a win. Still, just like myself, because I'm more of a bounce trader than a rejection trader. So the indicator's win rate is very high on the bounce side of it, not so much on the put side of it. Still, it works. Like this was a perfect rejection on Google that it rejected. Also on NVIDIA, it worked very well for a bounce, I believe. Yeah, Nvidia bounce was very nice as well. So, and the other trade we took was the QQQ trade that we took at the end of it. This was the bounce that it gave us end of day on the QQ calls. So far, I'm very happy with the how it's working, and nothing is supposed to be 100%. There are gonna be fake outs, and that's what I love about it, that it is not giving some ridiculous win rate. So as you guys saw the screenshots, and this is based on individual tickers that I was tracking. So as you can see, most of the win rates are staying above, I want to say, 80 to 87% is where we are seeing it. More so on the call side, on the bounces, very little. As you can see, the win rate on the rejections is very low, just because still it's, how I trade and how it is. And it's not taking and so this is whole week's worth of percentage win and loss. This is not just for one day. This is for the whole Monday to Friday on each ticker, how many trades. Some of the stocks, it took quite a few trades. Some, it only took very little. For example, this one, it only had 5 from a couple of the lines and then 6 from one line. So, which I like, because I am not looking for crazy trades that it's taking every bounce and everything. So I am trying to make it where it is not taking less fake outs as well. So I'm working toward it. Just wanted to share the excitement, because this has been like 3 of us have worked so hard on it, mastering this setup, finding different time frames where it works better, where it doesn't work better, what are the things are we paying attention to, which time frame when we take it from it works better or it doesn't. So it's been a lot of hard work. So I really want to say big thank you to Benita and Killa as well. So having said that, let's get into our scalp side of it first. And looks like where did it go? My mouse is gonna die. It needs to get charged. Okay, forget it. Let's see. Anyways, Apple, so nothing really have changed from last week. We still have a nice gap to the upside that it needs to get filled. And for calls, it is still working out as long as we hold 310. I am moving the put side of it to about 307.75. If we start to lose below this, then I'm looking for a put. Would not even mind the 297 being retested and then continue on Apple. If we do get that pullback, somewhere in the 297 zone would be nice. But again, I am talking about scalps. I am not talking about swings. Okay, let's go to AMD. AMD had earnings, and now we are gonna be watching, I would say 485, if we can clear 485 for calls, and otherwise puts below, let's move this to 477. Okay, 477 below that is your puts. Anything above that is your calls. Avgo, great trade on this one, and even our swing worked out very well. It is almost at the gap up here. So let's see if we can fill that gap or not. I would look for calls above 430 and puts below 425. Where is 425? Might even give you a bounce from 425 to 420 area. Could be a nice bounce. This could also be, just looking at it now, could be a nice cup, and we get some sort of a handle. And as long as we don't lose 410 and hold, maybe could be a nice swing to keep an eye on it as well. But for scalping, those are your levels. Okay, coin. I think Bitcoin looks very good. So this might be the one goes 155 calls above, and below 150 is your puts. Google, I think this one has a little bit more room to come down. I don't think so. Google is done. I would do puts below 355. Even a rejection of 355 might not be a bad for a put. And calls only if it clears 360. Otherwise, I would not touch. Could be a little bit more pullback on this thing. Hood. I like the daily candle, but it is a triple top here. So give yourself a room. $95 break could be a nice call. Otherwise, I would say below, where is the overblock? Maybe even a bounce from 92, 91 area could work on Hood as well. Meta, the hardest name, but it worked very well. As you can see, we had Monday right from the level it bounced, never looked back. We have filled this gap as well. And what I want is calls above 600 and puts below 585. We did see quite a bit of puts come in on Friday. I know Killa shared it in her room. So there was quite a bit of puts there. Marble, leaving it alone. Microsoft made the very nice move. We are gonna delete this. We captured a lot of this move. So now anything calls above 505 and puts below 497. In between, leave it alone. I would not even touch. You got a nice gap down here as well. Okay. I don't think so. I give you a level from this. Next is NVIDIA. Calls above 225 and puts below 220. Simple as that. And you got your levels to the upside. PLTR, beautiful move on this one from the earnings. And we are now going to be looking for, I'm going to give myself a room. 175 could be a nice rejection. So 175 break above is where you want the calls. Otherwise, that rejection could be nice for the put side. And in between here could be quick scalps from bounces or rejections. Otherwise, puts below 165. But overall, PLTR on larger time frame looks really good. So it might not be done. I think 200 could come easily on it. We could use a small pullback for sure, right? Does leave a big earnings gap as well here. So something to keep in mind. Reddit, SNDK, no, Tesla. Okay, Tesla, we are gonna be going with the 335, giving ourselves a little bit room to continue, and then you got your levels to the upside. I would say puts below 327. Anything in between is your bounces for calls to the upside. This one also has a nice gap to fill as well. Okay. All right, so that's on your scalping side. Let's get into our swings. Actually, before I get into the swings, let's go to NQ. NQ is coming up to the date that it could be. NQ also looks like might be making a cup and handle. Let's see, can we break 30,000 and continue to the upside? Remember, the divergence between NQ and ES are huge. NQ is still lagging, is still behind. We are up about 23 points right now. Not much is happening. This is our target. That's been our original target for almost 2 months ago. And this is what I want to see. Can we hit 30,754 on it? And then on ES, where are you? ES, I guess that leg wasn't too bad to mark that day. So far those extension fibs have been working out. Let's see, do 7,800 comes? Doesn't seem like too hard for it to now to not come and break and hold. If it does, then we definitely got our extension fibs giving us our levels to the upside. Otherwise, I am looking for a little bit deeper pullback into this zone, and we have order block. That would be nice, but again, ES has been on a little bit on the stronger side. So if it continues to hold, then we got a move that's going to come our way. All right, let's get into our swings, RGT. So this is the chart that actually it's a bot alert. I just remembered it. So we got the trade on this one on Friday and we were up, I believe at the end of the day, that bot alert was up 20-25% as well. So really like how we broke out of on the daily downtrend and 4 hour, giving you the same where it broke out, gave you the retest and continue. So I would say is your ideal TP for last contract can be somewhere in the 21 to 250 zone. That could be a resistance area. However, if we do start to lose below this low, you want to be careful. Then that is definitely an invalid setup. If we do break below this $16 zone, then you don't want to be holding on to it. So have some sort of a stop loss or at least take some profit or have a break even on for it to play out. So this is my A+ setup. Even though we are in, I still think you could get an opportunity to get in if it does pull back. And as long as 16 holds, I think this is a good one. Next is shake. This has a huge gap, and this comes from Benita or Killa. No, Killa shared her flow, and then from that flow is where Benita confirmed the setup. So what we are looking for is for it to hold above 65. As long as we don't break below 65, this has a massive move that is brewing, where we do not just have a gap here, we got a gap to the upside. And when your extension fibs line up with important levels, those usually tends to get hit. So what we are watching on this is any pullback, especially on the larger time frame. And we've been a slightly sideways, and which is nice. This could be a nice consolidation before we get the next move up. So as long as we don't break below 65, I would say picking up some October or even December contracts look really good on this one. So this is another A+ setup on it. Another one is SMCI. So this one has earnings coming up, but honestly, the chart looks amazing. I don't know what their accounting is going to do. What are they going to report? Because, investors have a trust issues with this company. So as long as this thing holds 27, even on earnings, if it does pull back, I think picking up January leaps on this for a gap fill supply zone and another gap to the top. And I've been talking about this one for a minute. So I think this one is definitely looking really good and I would pay attention to it. Another one is HIMS, and they have earnings coming up. I do have shares on it, so I am definitely going to be planning to see whether I want to continue to hold or I'm going to have some sort of a covered calls, covered puts, depending on what it looks like it right here. I think if it pulls back and we hold above this $26 level, I think this is a potential for back into the $40 trade as well. And even this supply zone, honestly, is easily target that you can do. But I would buy time. I would buy either March or June contracts. If you are going to jump in before earnings, you buy extra time, but I would say wait for the earnings to finish, let it have, maybe it gives us a pullback, and then that's your entry. I'm not in options, I'm in shares, and I've shared those shares with you guys for a while. I told you when I was taking them, so I'm hoping somebody did take it. Next is Oklo. I like the breakout. This one we have traded a few times and I feel like it moves really well. This is more of a B+ setup because I don't have a leg to mark yet, whether it is, it's going to continue from here or it's going to give us a pullback, some sort of a displacement in order to see where it could continue to the next level, especially on the 4 hour as well. So ideally, I would like a pullback into the $40 zone, even anywhere between 40 to 44 would be ideal for this one to continue. And even the weekly does look good. I like how the trend change happened with buyers volume being present, not just slow grind up. So you want those kind of moves. I would like to see how this week plays out, and especially Monday, Tuesday, if we do get some sort of a pullback and we're holding and buyers are showing strength on the smaller time frame, then definitely a trade to keep an eye on. Next is QCOM. I think this is also, they've been keep getting hit with news after news, but I think if it clears 170, QCOM could be, it does have catching up to do with some of the names there. So it could give us that $200, that move we've been watching. It does have a gap to the downside. Another thing, I would like to see some sort of a small pullback. And as long as we hold 160 or break 170, either one, and I think this is a great setup to the upside. Next A plus setup is your ENPH. Can I start with the weekly? What a beautiful morning star pattern on it. So on this one, I know I've talked about FS a lot, and this is from the same basically category here. Where is FSLR? A, B, C, D, E, F, A, B, C, D, E, F, FSLR. Okay, so I've shared this chart with you guys few times, and that breakout and holding to 100 zone, and now we are up $50. So if you are in the leaps that I mentioned you to take it, this thing, I think it can flip supply zone. The beauty is whenever a stock aligns your extension fibs with a important level, and which means right here is supply zone, usually the moves to the upside are very powerful, where supplies can get flipped into becoming a demand zone and continue to move higher. So this pullback, and again, as long as holds 239 or 240, I think this could turn back up, especially because the sector is looking really good, and ENPH is my top pick. I'm already in. I've been in it since I've been talking about it, because we saw the turnaround on the 4-hour as well, and weekly candle was looking good when I did mention it, and I've shared the chart a few times in the group as well. So looking for this to continue. Looking for my targets to be somewhere in the 45 to 46 first target, and then next is 52. So that's my another A plus setup. Next is INTC. Do I want this one? No, I don't. I want weekly chart. What? If you go back, we talked about this one too, right? Beautiful morning star pattern, and you got the continuation here. Ideally, you want to see 225 break and hold. I want to see break, hold, and then continue to the upside. I think that is gonna be a perfect setup on it. So a lot of patience, and have some sort of alerts set up. And again, as long as we don't break below 215, I think the setup looks really good. What else do I have here? Went over this name almost to the supply zone, shared this chart with you guys as well. Uber looks good. I think Uber, if we hold above 70, this is definitely ready for a move up. But if it loses 70, the trade is invalidated. Went over this. This was another one that has a lot of flow that came in, and I think it was on Killa's last week's flow review also. So this, maybe if we can get a small pullback or even a retest of the fair value gap and then continue, because we do have a big displacement candle here, which never came back and retested. So then it has a room to continue to the upside as well. I think I went over Oklo, ENTH, we went over. SE has earnings coming up. which is very soon here. And this one I've talked about so much inside the group. I've talked about how long it's been I've been owning the shares. This was a perfect opportunity for anybody to pick up shares in the 70 and $80. It's an amazing company. You need to look at their financials. And I think this has a room to go back into that 140, 145 zone again. But with the earnings, I would be a little bit careful on it. Okay, what was this one? Oh, this was another one right out of the demand zone. It's a small stock and it had a beautiful inverted head and shoulder. If we get some sort of a pullback, I would say pick up some shares on it. I think this is a shares stock, not options stock. So if it does give you pullback, put some alerts. This is definitely a buy anywhere between $3.15 to $4 here, accumulate. Went over that. I think this is it for the swing. We looked at FSLR. Some of our trades have played out. The charts have played out very well. Look at this ZS. Gave you guys a while back on this one as well. It is right into the gap. Like I said, it might have a small pullback because we've reached the 50% of it. So that one has played out. Next is, I think GM was another one. GM played out. Beautiful bounce on this thing as well. And I think we captured a lot of the move on GM. There was another one. I know nobody took it. Did anybody take it? We talked about this one too. Look at that distribution playing out. I love the accumulation here. I don't think so. This one is done. Marble was another one. And if Marble can break 220, this is looking very good. How did Visa do? Visa made it all the way to supply zone from your 313. Man, my levels are gold. CRM, beauty. We held 150 once we broke 165, did not look back. And this one has weird gaps that needs to be filled. I would like a little bit pullback. I don't think so. We want this one to continue. Apple D, maybe this is the final manipulation leg we are getting. And now we're gonna start the distribution. Maybe now it's ready. Maybe this was not the true manipulation leg. And this manipulation leg is where we hold and continue. I would say wait for 30 to break. Not enough volume yet to confirm. Let it break 30 and then we can say if it's the go. I think BMNR, beautiful breakout of the inverted head and shoulder. And I told you guys to take 2028 leaps. BTG, we captured this gold. I shared the chart. Okay, I think I can keep going. I can talk, as you all know. All right, have a great week. Please do like, do subscribe. I don't know if I'll keep posting on the YouTube or not. I'm lazy. I hate creating that thumbnail shit and all the things you have to fill it out. It's easy to upload in WAP. But we'll see since I am posting everywhere. So I will do my best to keep posting. Okay, I'll see you guys in the group tomorrow.